This guy, Conor McGregor, is one of the most controversial people in sports, and people love him or hate him, but I really like him. I even have his poster in my office, and I watch his fights, especially the ones where he wins, over and over again. And I was watching this fight, and it has some great commentators, including Joe Rogan, who you can see on your screen. You're gonna see his reactions during this fight. What is important in this video is to see how Joe Rogan, one of the top commentators and public speakers in the world, as well as his fellow commentators, use English language, use vocabulary, phrases, complex structures to showcase this whole fight, which is a very short fight, and how you, as the listener, receives all that message with so much focus and attention. They are able to paint the whole picture, and that's why they're in those seats, being commentators for one of the top organizations in the world. Let's listen and analyze what they do and how you can replicate the same things. So let's watch this very entertaining fight and listen to the commentary right here.
The most highly anticipated featherweight fight of all time.
So just the sentence where it starts, the most highly anticipated, and then the featherweight fight of all time. So firstly, it is anticipated, which is the adjective, and that is used to describe events or places or things or people. And that is how the speaker or the commentator here is telling you that this is this kind of fight, telling you that, hey, this is important. It is anticipated. How is it anticipated? It is highly anticipated. So by putting the adverb, they're able to intensify the impact of the adjective, help to define it more, adds more description. On top of that, he also said the most. Now you're making it superlative. So you say the most, the least, and then you add an adverb, then an adjective. Really goes on to describe the magnitude of the fight. Then he finishes off the sentence by saying the featherweight fight of all time. This is another layer of description telling you that it is historically the biggest fight. He could have said the word historically too, but of all time is a great substitute as well. And again, it's just, it could be, he could have just said it's a big fight and he wouldn't be a commentator then. But it's his ability to paint the picture with so many great words that makes it so lively. Let's continue.
Conor looks extremely loose, and Aldo looks like he's feeling the pressure of this moment.
This is how they bring life to the actual fight, because they're showing you or telling you the expressions. Conor feels this way, uses an adjective, feels light. And Jose Aldo, they didn't use an adjective here. Joe Rogan said it feels like he's feeling the pressure at the moment, something like that. So now in the second sentence, he's not saying, Conor feels this way, Jose feels this way. That would look too prepared. He's using another way to describe Jose. He feels as if he's feeling the pressure of this moment. So you could use those descriptions as well. One sentence could be adjective, this is how the person feels, and another sentence could be about the same person, an event, or any follow-up sentence. You could say, it feels as if, it seems as if, it appears as if, it could be noticed that, and then define the scene. All right, let's get started.
Green trunks for the southpaw, the notorious Conor McGregor. Black trunks.
Now, the notorious is like the evil guy, Conor McGregor. That's part of his name, so that's another part of the description, but it's just the title that goes with McGregor. He calls himself the notorious.
For the champion, Jose Aldo Jr.
Conor relaxed and smiling.
Now that's a great knockout right there. We'll get to that. Before that, Joe Rogan explains once again, how Conor feels. He's relaxed and smiling. Two adjectives. Well, the first one is the adjective, relaxed, and smiling is the verb, the action he's doing. So Joe Rogan uses the adjective and the verb in the same sentence to define how someone feels. If I see a person walking on the street and they look rushed, I could say, hey, they look stressed and they're rushing. Again, it defines the verb and the adjective combined, define the whole expression. And you, even if you haven't seen the person, with my words, you will be able to understand how exactly they feel, and that is a good complete sentence. Now, you just saw an amazing knockout. This was I think this is the fastest knockouts in a championship match up to this date, I'm pretty sure. So let's see how Joe Rogan reacts, of course, with that huge wow that he's saying right now. And let's see how he continues, and they continue to describe this. he slept him. Now that's a unique use of a phrase. I don't know if it's correct. I've never heard that before. But he uses, instead of saying he made him go to sleep, he's saying he slept him. Kind of a unique usage. It is not wrong grammatically, but just pretty unique. Okay, so he's gonna stay with that word longer, the slept him, again defining how the action unfolded. He also uses the adjective unbelievable, and again describing once again how the whole situation is. Right, so guys, that's the end of this fight, and then they go to interviews, and you can watch this. It was pretty entertaining stuff. Connor's whole run was pretty entertaining, but coming back to our English lesson, you saw in those brief seconds, and that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna put a whole 5-round fight here, but you can see how these commentators don't just say things like, oh, he punched him, oh, he is knocked out, or this was a good fight. Like, the word good was barely used. You can see the words that are being used are advanced. They are not the same. Like, every sentence, there's something different being said. There's a variety of words, and mainly they are descriptions. They are adjectives, adverbs. They are describing the whole scene. And that is why they are in those positions, because as great public speakers, you want to have the ability to describe the scene, paint a picture, explain what's going on, so that the person who is at home can get all that animation, can get all that thrill by just listening to you. You add more life to the fight sometimes than the fight itself. So here's an assignment for you. Why don't you replay this fight on mute and try to be Joe Rogan? Try to explain this fight as you see it. Or if you don't like these fighters, pick your own fighters, or pick a football or a soccer match, whatever you would like to be, wherever you would like to be a commentator, and try to explain descriptions the same way Joe Rogan and his fellow commentators were explaining. Use, remember, adjectives and adverbs in combinations. They're even better. Combine them also in different sentences with verbs, okay? And of course, nouns will fall in place naturally. This was a very short fight. When it's longer events or longer speaking that you guys are doing, make sure to also use connectors. The same commentators use great connectors when they follow up a sequence of events. This happens, followed up with this, later on, this transpired, eventually, blah, 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 right? So use connectors as well. And I hope this lesson made you learn the value of using good descriptions. The best in the business do it. You should too. Thank you. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share. We'll talk soon. Take care.